I was told, to write a will with my parents, and they didn't know when they opened me up how much the cancer would have spread, because I couldn't have any more chemotherapy because my lungs couldn't cope with it. We don't know what's going to happen. We're going to do the best we can for you, but you might not come out the other side. I felt really good in there when I was fighting Garcia. I feel like everything in my life, as well as my career, has been building to that moment, and something like this moment that's happening now. I just felt like it was meant to be, and whoever was in there with me that night wouldn't be able to beat me. And when I realised I was cutting the fight, I felt okay and I felt good, to be honest, because it wasn't really affecting the way I was performing. I did think I needed to step up the pace a little bit, but I managed to win the next round after that. And in between the first and the second round, the doctor come in and said they'd done a good job on the cut. So I was hoping it was going to be okay for the end of the fight. It was heartbreaking. I felt like it was a typical RNAB moment where things don't go as you want them to go. For me, I wanted to carry on, and I'd do anything I could to carry on that fight. There was 3 rounds left, and those moments that you're not in control of, you get taken away something that you want so bad. It was hard, and you could see it when it happened. I wasn't really one for being able to hide the way I felt. I think I just broke down, and you want something all your life, and you want something so bad. It's gonna hurt, and it's meant to hurt as well. I don't expect it to me to feel any different, because I care about it. I'm passionate about it. So, it was just one of them things that builds us up to where we are now. The wins and losses aren't as important as my journey, as the people I touch. And I got a message one night off a guy called Chris, whose son was recently diagnosed and born with cystic fibrosis, and said he just sat there crying on his phone and was typing in hashtags like cystic fibrosis athletes, cystic fibrosis fighters, and found my page and read into my story. And he just messaged me just saying that I gave him hope for his son, and he wanted his son to grow up and be like me. I gave him a message back. We told him we'd stay in touch, and we just kept in contact. And he was from Newcastle, and when he heard I was fighting there, he wanted to come to the fight. And I think probably 3 or 4 weeks before, his son had just started jiu-jitsu as well, which was amazing, getting in the gi. And he sent me a picture, and we stayed in touch. But walking back from the fight after beating Christopher Daniels, I seen him in the crowd, and we were both emotional, and I gave him my t-shirt and told him it was for his boy. And, we'll stay in touch ever since. And, those relationships and those people you can help. I was always told, if you can make a positive impact in one person's life as you grow up, you've done a good job. So hopefully I've managed to do that. The last time I was in Birmingham was for my operation at the end of the cancer, and Dr. Patel, Surgeon Patel, he was the only surgeon in the UK who would perform the operation on me because of how dangerous it was and where the lymph mass was in my stomach. I knew I had the operation date, and I prepared for that like a fighter. Went and got my weight up, got my lung function better, and come and just let what would be, not knowing if I was going to come out the other end of that operation. And I actually haven't been back to Birmingham and until now. And, maybe it's written in the stars that I get to fight for that world title in Birmingham, and it becomes a special place in my heart. Like it already is, if I can win it on that night, maybe everything's aligning and it's meant to be. The thing with the operation was, I was told, to write a will with my parents. And they didn't know when they opened me up how much the cancer would have spread, because I couldn't have any more chemotherapy because my lungs couldn't cope with it. And it was just down to this operation now and being able to remove the cancerous tumours from my body and hopefully start the journey to recovery. And the surgeon got me in the room the night before with my uncle when we drove up, and he said to me, "There's risks of crossing a road with a lollipop lady. There's risk of just crossing a 30-mile-per-hour road." He goes, "Tomorrow you're crossing the motorway blindfolded. We don't know what's going to happen. We're going to do the best we can for you, but you might not come out the other side. If we touch the valve that takes blood to and from your heart, it's game over." So it was one of them. You didn't know what was going to happen after it, and I'm fortunate to be here today to tell that story, and that's why I want to make the most of it. My thoughts on getting this opportunity to fight for the Octagon World title and to fight against Sam Creasy is, again, almost those thoughts of destiny and fairy tale endings that you maybe come to a point in my life where you don't feel exist. Sam Creasy probably gave me my most convincing loss of my career. Last time we fought, it wasn't even close. And I feel like the odds for this fight online now, when you look at them, they sum up how the last fight went. But that's how it's meant to be for me. And things have changed in those 3 years since we fought those fights. And now it's up to me to go and prove everyone wrong and prove the people around me right. And we've got a chance of doing something truly remarkable on that night. I feel like it couldn't be any bigger than Sam Creasy v Aranavy. It couldn't be any tougher of a challenge than Sam Creasy. He's the number one in Europe for a reason. So it's almost like, Aaron, you want to achieve your dream. Here's the boss man. Go and take him out. And that's what I'm preparing to give my best shot at doing on that night. And, if we can do that and we achieve that, it'll be truly remarkable. And, deep down, I believe in myself, and I'm going to go and give it everything I got. Physically, I was a lot weaker back then. I was still recovering. I was actually ate breakfast and drank water before the weigh-in, so we wouldn't know how light I was. And I think when you watch that fight back, you can see we look like 2 weight classes apart. It was probably early in my career and in the performance that not just the size, but the skill set also showed. We're further on from there. This year, I'm 5 years cancer-free. I'm bigger, I'm stronger, I'm better. Have I closed the gap enough? Because it was a big gap, time will tell. But I certainly think it's going to be a lot different fight than the last one. One thing that wasn't there last time when I fought Sam was the crowd. It was in lockdown, so it was COVID restrictions. And there's nothing like the extra energy that the Aranavy support brings. I'm representing the fighting man, the underdog, someone who can do something when the odds are against them. And it's about us doing this on that night together. And, I hope everyone's gonna be there and being that 12th man, as they say in the football, with the crowd on the night, because if we're gonna do this, we're gonna do it together, and it's gonna be a special night if we can become world champion on April the 20th in Birmingham.